Let me turn it a little bit and say, welcome to MS Live. I'm your host, Dulci Hill. Again, it is Thursday, and it must be going close to 11 o'clock. And it's funny because I never know the time. I'm your host, Dulci Hill, and today we're going to talk about attitude. And I'm doing this so that it's not just specific to MS, because so much of, if we think about it, I've discovered that everybody, the longer I have MS, the more I realize that everyone has an affliction. There is something going on in everyone's life, and it could be catastrophic. It could be a lot worse than how some of us handle MS. There, hi Chris. Chris is on YouTube. Chris is in the house. I love. Also, Chris, I need an update on. You just had an MRI of your neck. I believe it was your neck and your back. Anyway, please let me know how that went. What they discovered there. I don't know whether you got the information. Hi, Matt. How are you? You motivate me, Matt, and this here is to motivate everybody. In fact, I swam the other day. Hi, Debbie. Boy, you haven't been here for a while, but I swam the other day. Swam a mile because I swam not just crawl where I normally do a half mile, and I screwed this tendon there, but I swam freestyle. I swam backstroke, and I have a snorkel there. Hi, Karen. All right, let's see. Jane from Coeur d'Alene, I'm waiting. So what I'm saying is that I don't use my legs. Somebody, a lifeguard was filming me how to, and changing strokes have changed. The way you do that is a lot different than what we used to be trained. So because I have MS, I don't swim, and I don't use my legs. I don't swim like regular people. I swim. It takes more effort, but anybody with MS, anybody who doesn't walk, who doesn't use their legs. Now, I use my right legs. I use the walker there. But you can get in the swimming pool, and because I can't kick, if I kick, it would only be my right leg, and I'd be going around in circles there. So what I do is I don't use either leg, and my legs it's hilarious. Somebody filmed me swimming there. My legs are like outriggers, and it just, I just was really embarrassed. But so what I want to talk about today is getting out of your mind. I know every single one of you has something that is weighing heavy on your heart. We are lucky when we have a disability in that it's out there. People come up all the time and say, I'm sorry. Hi there, Karen. Karen. Hi, Karen. And then Jane from, I'm waiting for Jane and Gina and our regulars. There's a lot. And I saw Tim is on Facebook today. Tim is in, it's 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, right, Tim? 4 o'clock in the United Kingdom. So we got a couple people from around the country, around the world that participate. So I want to talk again. Never be embarrassed. Chris, her words of wisdom is, it doesn't matter what you're going through. And Chris, tell me if I'm wrong there. Yeah, it's 4 p.m. and see, I pay attention. Never be embarrassed. I was looking at the way I swim and think about watching people ski. And I used to ski with my skis real wide, right? Which is now what you're supposed to do. Ski with your feet hip width apart there. Well, I always wanted to be a pretty skier with my feet together there, and that's not the safest way to ski. Well, I swim that way now. You see people with their feet, their legs together, and they kick, and I'm like an outrigger. So when I go in the water, I swim. There's a new technique on swimming that lifeguards train. But I look at that, my legs are out there. My legs are wide. It's like I'm skiing there, and it's balancing me. It's hilarious. But I got the greatest compliment in the world at the end. Hi, Sharia. Hi, Karen. You know what? You guys are and Cynthia's in the house. Nadine, and Teresa. Hi, Teresa. Again, this is MS Live, but it is more of a motivational video for everyone. I was thinking about this. Uh, um, I'm sorry, Kim, that just cracked me up. Kim just comment, it's like parasailing. You're parasailing. But then again, have you ever been told, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that," and the only reason why you can't do something is you've created the limitations in your own mind, right? So how do you get over those limitations? When it's you use anything possible to swim, to do that. Yeah, I can swim, but I happen to look a little silly. Those legs are out, and everybody gives me advice about swimming. There, Daniel's in the house. Daniel, oh my god, and Daniel. I didn't know. Are you the Daniel from Michigan? There, that hasn't been with us for a very long. But so what I wanted to say is when I answer that question. So I was swimming to the end. Everybody's giving me advice, and at the end, there's this woman who'd never been there, an older woman. Daniel's from Pittsburgh. Hi, yes, you're. You know what? You're from. I've got you. I know who you are, Daniel. I know you. All right. So hi, Dina. She's my buddy. She's one of my best buddies, Dina. I love you. I'm glad you're watching. Miss you. Please do a no notice and drop by my house and join me in this. But anyway, wanted to say that I got to the end there of the pool. Dino, join the Bel Air Athletic Club for the month of August. There, we need to hang, play cards there. So what I wanted to say is somebody else joined for 3 months with this COVID thing, and at the end of the pool, it's an older woman. She saw me dive in, and it was like a deer in a headlight. She was really afraid, watching me do something. You don't see somebody pull up and I couldn't walk. This is after last Tuesday. I was sitting out in the heat, and after the show, I went in and laid in bed. I was exhausted, but you guys know that. So at about 4 o'clock, I went over to the club. And I took my scooter because I couldn't lift my legs. And yesterday I was like walking all over the place. So I could walk a mile yesterday, but the day before I couldn't walk. So I got in the scooter, went to the end of the lane, and I dove in, and they relocated my scooter. This older woman looked at me, and she was so concerned. I just smiled at her. I loved that. She was concerned. But when I came back, I took off the goggles, and I looked at her, and I said, "Thank you for being concerned." She says, "You have a joy all over your face." This is the greatest compliment I think anybody can get. You have a joy on your face that I want. Where does that joy from? And of course, I said it's not from me, it's from the Lord. The Lord allowed me to have this affliction, so I know what is not important. And she started telling me about difficulties she was going through, and I got to pray for her. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing there. Marcia, and I have you down, Marcia. Yeah, I even know how old you are. Marcia has primary progressive MS there, and I don't have to out your age because we're all the same in that we have an affliction. We happen to have MS, multiple sclerosis there, but even if you don't have MS, you're working through something there, and it's like carrying a bag of a heavy bag around with you there, and so much of that is letting that bag go. Let it go. Don't carry it with you, and understand that you know how important is it. One of the things that I love to do is practice. Mary's in the house. Hi, Mary. It's been a while since I've seen you. You're in Southern California, so it's early there. It's early in Southern California there, and you've got primary progressive MS there. Sharia. You know what? You will get that joy. Every single one of us without that joy is carrying that pain. Here's an exercise. In fact, I'm going to have this book that I'm going to give away for free to anybody who's willing to read it and evaluate it. But one of the exercises I have in the book is something that it changed me, fundamentally changed me, because I'm an aggressive Jersey driver. And I spent so much time behind the wheel hating other people for not driving the way I thought a good driver should drive. They would drive it too slow or too fast or too reckless, but I excused myself. I'm not allowed to drive like a jerk, but you aren't, right? So what I did is I practiced in the car, staying in the moment, staying in the moment, realizing that creating scenarios where it's okay for that guy to drive like an idiot, or so I went to the end of my street. There's a stop sign. Dina, share. There's a lot of you who know me in person. There at the end of our street is a stop sign, and it turns on a busier road. I stopped there, and there was a huge line of traffic coming. And I know if that traffic catches up, no one's going to let me in, and I'm going to be sitting there for a good 20 minutes, well, probably 5 minutes, but why never let the truth get in the way of a good story? So if you embellish it. So it was so long, this line. I was at the stop sign, and I decided to get out in front of the line. Well, there was a guy driving a pickup truck who he thought that I was driving like an aggressive jerk and pulling in front of everyone to ruin his day. So he sped up, got on my tail, honked the horn, gestured exactly how he felt about my decision to pull out there. And hi, Richard, and he blew up. And the more upset he got, the more I realized that is me. And I started thinking, I don't hate him, but he hates me. I've ruined his day, his moment, the amount of stress hormone. And the more I watch this guy come unglued, and the more I was able to pray for him. I was able to say, oh my gosh, and I regretted pulling out because I ruined this person's life. At least day. He was going to be in a bad mood. He was going to treat other people like jerks, just because I pulled out. So when people didn't turn right at traffic lights when they should have, when they were driving too slow, when they were driving dangerous, I practiced using that time to think about my own actions. Instead of looking out at fixing the world, fixing yourself. I have, there's another guy who I was really good friends with when I was a teenager, when I was a terrible teenager. I didn't have the terrible twos. I had the terrifying teens. My mom will tell you that. And what he talks about often is how he is the victim. Do you want to be a victim or do you want to be Jesus? Jesus is in the house. But do you want to be a victim or a volunteer? A volunteer is somebody who sits behind the wheel and volunteers to get angry at people driving stupid and not driving in the way in your head tells you. Use it as an exercise. That is stay in the moment, right? Because and a great person once said to me, if we focus on yesterday, what we should have done yesterday, then that can lead to depression. It's like, I should have said this. I should have. I should have. And having a relationship with Christ, and not that anybody watching has to have a relationship with Christ, but it's where I get my peace there. Having that makes it sinful if I don't forgive myself for being a jerk. And I'm not allowed to look back. I've been forgiven, so I've got to forgive myself. So I look back and I say, all right, don't be don't perseverate, don't persevere, don't concentrate on the negative. So yesterday, dwelling on what you did yesterday will lead to depression, because we all would have made different choices. I know I certainly would have. I certainly would, and it probably wouldn't have ended up perfectly where I am now. I wouldn't be writing a book. I wouldn't be talking to you. The other thing is, if we think about tomorrow, if we worry about what's going to happen tomorrow, like I did, talk about regrets there. If we worry about that and it doesn't happen, then we've wasted our time. So worrying now, so worrying about tomorrow, what's going to happen in politics, in COVID, or anything like that, creates an anxiety in us. We don't know what to do. We live in fear, and that fear can be paralyzing. So live in just for today. It's part of the 12-step program, just for today. I like to think we're let me tell you how we're lucky we have MS, multiple sclerosis, because early on they used to tell us the most common saying you'll hear with people with MS is we have good days and bad days. This, and Cindy just nailed it there, this condition teaches us patience. But what it has taught me after 34 years of having something I can't control is what has taught me is to just not to worry, just focus in on what's next and be happy for what's going on now. I got so good at, and it's behind the wheel is my favorite place to practice this. I got so good at doing what's next and focusing on making every moment joyful that I was running late for a physical therapy appointment, and I swung wide and I ramped into the back. I bumped the back of a SUV sitting next to the handicap parking lot, and I bumped her, right? I have insurance. I have, I wasn't willing to run. I was very loving, but the gal who happened to be sitting in the SUV jumped out and started screaming, freaking out. And I was in the moment. I had to decide. Oh, well, that kind of sucks. I hit that car. I'm gonna make the most of it. I've gotta. Why worry about my insurance rate going up? There was a lot of things. So is there damage to her car? I'm like, whatever. But instead of like, let me just do what's next. Let me smile and make sure she's all right. I didn't hit her too hard. She didn't have whiplash or anything. You know what happened is that the more she worked herself up into an emotional froth, and the more I was in the moment, the more gleeful that experience became to me. I started laughing. And how do you get somebody who's very angry at you to get angry? Well, start laughing. I said, and I told her, I said, just calm down, because I'd get my walker out and I will calm down. Please take a picture of my insurance card, my driver's license. I'll give you my phone number. Take a picture of the rear of your car, the front of my car. Let's do all of that, and let me know if there is a problem. I said, and I don't want you to be upset. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for creating this. But how can we move forward? In this moment, what are we supposed to do? You're supposed to take my information. So I walk in. Needless to say, she ended up leaving very, very upset. I walked in and I'm laughing into the physical. I'm laughing. And the secretaries, the three of them, were standing at the window watching this going on and looked at me when I was laughing. They said, what happened? What is going on? You were laughing and she was yelling, and what's wrong with you? And I said, the woman just the angrier she got, the more gleeful I got. So, and that comes from making gratitude lists to, in every moment, if we can just focus on doing what's next. Sharia, and she's talking, she gets anxiety with this COVID going in public there. And what do you fear about, right? Hi, Sherry, you're with us there. Sherry's got her own YouTube channel there, and I always have to tell, if you're stuck in a wheelchair and you need an attitude adjustment, Sherry is it's Rolling Around the Tri-Cities is her YouTube channel. So go to her YouTube channel and subscribe. Anyway, she's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person. Like us, we happen to have. I've had MS so long that it doesn't define me. MS only defines you when you've had it for the first 5 to 10 years. Because it's the elephant in the room with us. I'm sorry, I've got hair. We've got a straight hair. It's a little hair. All right. There, my summer beach hair. Okay, so we have these problems that are very common with each other, but it's the elephant in the room. But it's not unlike every single person who's watching that doesn't have MS there, that has something else that afflicts them. Everybody has an elephant in the room, and the idea is that with the right attitude, we can make that elephant shrink down to a mouse and step over a mouse. Desensitize. Some people are afraid of mice. I was afraid of spiders, and I desensitized that by making myself be around spiders. And now I make it an exercise when I'm in the laundry room. There was a spider in the laundry room downstairs. He had a web, and he had lots and lots of babies. She did. Lots of baby egg sacs there. I use that as an exercise. I took a jar and I scooped her up and all the eggs and I put the top on it. Oh my gosh, I've grown. I've grown. And I brought it outside and dumped it on in a garden where it could get aphids and millions of spiders can go. Spider spits live outside there. Now the old bee would have stepped on them and killed the babies and stuff. But I started thinking, what is the point? Why, I look for God in everything. So I'm thinking, well, why did God make spiders, and why would I kill the spider? So I'm embracing life there. I had a rough time embracing life when the hornet flew in from the screen room into near the light where I was sitting there, and I couldn't jump up and run away as quickly as the hornet. All of us have heard bee sting therapy. I don't run for bees at all because I figured 20 years ago, this was my first exercise. Everybody with MS has heard that. Yeah, have you looked into bee sting therapy? So, and we all know that it is, well, God bless you for thanking me, but don't thank me. Thank God. God, the Lord is wants you to have the comfort and love, and the words that I have for you. They're not new words. They come from my experience of joining a 12-step program for a situation that not Alcoholics Anonymous, but it was the same program that was used. Another one there, but you know what I've discovered, Sherry? You can carry an EpiPen. And I will say Jane from Coeur d'Alene, she found my address. I guess anybody can find my address, and I'll give it to you. I'll give you my phone number. I don't care. And I love you all, but she found it and sent me a thank you card. But she said, thank you for doing this for all of us. She thanked me for the right reasons. Not because I'm awesome, because I assure you, and you guys know, I'm no more awesome than any one of you. What sets me a little different is that I'm outrageous, and I'm not afraid of the learning of being in front of the camera. I'm not afraid of beach hair, bad hair days. Although I used to do videos when I did the 2-minute videos to help people there with MS there. I'm a little horrified. Sometimes I didn't put lipstick on, and it's like, oh my gosh, Dulci, you don't have lips unless you wear lipstick there. And my teeth look white when I wear lipstick there. And they really, it's the lighting. I promise you. I'm wearing the studio makeup, and Dina, if you're still watching, she can tell you, I don't look like this. This here, smoke and mirrors. There, I'll wash off the war paint, and anybody want to do smoke and mirrors with me there, Google the YouTube channel, or how to wear studio makeup, how to just make chicken salad or lemonade. That's Jersey lemonade. Oh, my rooster Snowball is someplace far away. I just heard him, and he's farther than he should. I think he's in another. Anyway, I'll do with him. Yeah, he shouldn't be there. But anyway, we all have issues that hey, Snowball, just a second. Snowball. Oh, I don't know how he got in the neighbor's lawn there, but he's the white silky rooster. He stands up. If he's screaming, he's not dead, and that's a good thing. I'll have to chase him in a minute, but after we're done here. But again, if you don't have to have MS to have an infliction, and this woman came to me and she talked about panicking because of issues she had. And I think so much of us with this COVID, you're afraid of going out. If you are afraid of living life because of there's a saying, a coward dies 1,000 deaths, right? So we no, no, it's not a sure. Jesus, that's a rooster, and he's not pissed off. He that's what roosters do, you know. So they yeah. Um, all right, so that it's funny. Uh, all right, Richard, what did you say there? Because I got a. Oh, you are Richard. If I had a nickel for every time I have heard you have said you've fallen there, then he came back, and now he's letting you all know uh, that you're important. That is that is I had their eggs, silky eggs for breakfast there, and I too, and it was free range, bright orange, and all I could do is look at that, and I didn't feel good. I give thanks. Now let me go back to hi Snowball. Let me go back to Sherry about the bee sting therapy. You get bees that fly around, and if you don't panic, and they don't sting. If you, the quick movements and all, they're afraid you're going to kill them. So I have yet to have any problems with bees since I have embraced this bee sting therapy. They don't sting me there. If you're allergic, carry your EpiPen. That should be part of your. Yeah, I know, but Sherry, it is hard. It is hard to relax when something you fear, and it goes back to Sharia. Uh, um, what you said, you're afraid about COVID, going out in public with COVID, right? And part of it, and I used to lifeguard, part of it is when you swim deep, people tend to drown not because they can't swim, not because they can't tread water. And they can, some people drown that can tread water and are great swimmers because we do too, Tim. Tim, you made that jump there. We call them, in fact, we call them big angry cocks. Because what do they do? All they do is they rape, they pillage, they fight and rape. That's all they, and they crow. Yeah, they beat their chest there, and it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, you know what, Karen? He's just off the porch, and this is screen porch. There's steps down there. You know, let's see. Give me a time check. Do I have time to turn the camera around? Yeah, I'll do that next time. We'll do a walk-in video. You know what? It's best if I do a walking video and post it separate to this. So anyway, let's go back to COVID and about getting out and fear of dying, fear of getting this. You know what? If you're going to get COVID, you're going to get COVID. There are people that I go around this area that need hugs. They need, and they have not had human contact so long. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for that. There, Karen. Where are you, Karen? You're my time checking chick. There, but anyway, we don't exist long enough to, if we die of COVID versus if we die in 5 years of, say, a car accident, or in Richard's case, of a fall, or my case, a fall, because I just got over my broken hand and I had a broken rib there. Diana, you're here. Oh, that's wonderful there. It doesn't matter if we die in 20 years of cancer. The fact is, in the entire existence, think about dinosaurs, think about anything that has ever existed there, anything. We're here but a short time. If you have a chance, look at the second law of thermodynamics, that everything, all living things end up breaking down, breaking apart. They're disintegrate. You are born and you flourish and you die. There, because guess how many people will get out alive? Guess how many people will end up dying? You 100%. And you know what we're not a human. I know. Daniel, we are going to refrain from any political opinions or whether COVID's a hoax or not. It is killing people, real people. It kills, like the flu. It kills. So there are statistics, but we cannot. Top of the hour. So 5 o'clock your time, Tim. Tim wanted to know when it's. So I've got 29 minutes, Tim, or we do there. So we can't avoid the fact that it is killing people. It can kill us. I've done videos that you can look on here where I interview people who have MS. So it's one person in particular in Florida. I did this back in March. She had the COVID it's not the vaccination. She had COVID and she was hospitalized and I talk about the medications they give her. I answer lots of questions. So if you're afraid, you have MS and you're on an immunosuppressant, you're afraid of COVID, go look at that video on Dulci Hill. It's my YouTube channel. And she talks about that. So how do we move on with this fear of getting this disease? Do we walk around in fear of getting cancer? Do we walk around in fear? Tell me something. Do you fear getting out of bed in the morning? And that's a good question for Richard. Richard, you fall probably 3 times a week there. Do you fear getting out of bed, or do you absolutely get out of bed and realize that if you're going to fall, it's actually going to happen? There. Hi, Tom. Tom, I've known Tom a long time through Harford County. Tom lives, and we used to have a local MS luncheon group there. Tom and his wife used to come. We went to the same church. But Tom, you don't have to tell me where you live, how old you are, what type of MS. What I don't remember is what kind of medication. And actually, I probably could remember what kind of medication. So back to COVID, back to the fear of going out. If you're a Christian, we walk with Christ. There, death has no sting. When I go out and I see these broken people, they don't have MS, but they're walking around, they have no human contact, and they look at me and they stand back and I've had a number of them say, I don't want to infect you if I have this. And I say, if you need a hug, I'd rather die giving you the love you need and risk getting COVID than having you be starved for humanity. And it's not just me. Chris and Cynthia and Jane's not here, and Gina's not here. And I look at how we help each other. Every single one of you do this on a daily basis. Every single one of us. If we allow this disease or our affliction or our depression or fear, if we surrender it and use some of these steps to overcome, Josie, and overcome our fears of getting, and it's a terrible, terrible, terrible infection, the pneumonia. We don't want that. But if we live like we're walking through the valley of the shadow of death, and the Lord is realize that we're not here long enough to be afraid there. We can't do that. Death has no sting. I mean, even in the worst case scenario, we get COVID, we end up in the hospital. We're still we're still at peace. You've got to be at peace. If they give you the medication to clear your lungs, or if they don't, remember, trust in the Lord, because every single time we look outside of ourselves and comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, and then we think about how we're not comfortable, right? We're less comfortable. I go out every day, and guess what? You guys that are here on YouTube with MS, with horrible, horrible. I mean, I know some of you are in bad shape. I mean, just terrible, terrible shape there. And this is the event of the day. There, you going in here and spreading this, and you'd rather give each other love, and but let me tell you something, you are less sick than people who are 75 that go to the gym and come up to me and say, I'm 75 years old, I can't believe how old I am, I've lived this long. It's like, it's, yeah. Have you met Marge, who just turned 91 and does Zumba, does weightlifting for a half, and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and swims a quarter of a mile? There, Marge. She's in my will, by the way. I'm thinking, but the fear is what keeps us from taking risk, and taking risk when you have MS is called living. Living is getting out of bed, right, Richard? Right? It's getting out of bed, and living. If you have an anxiety condition, there, if you don't have MS, an anxiety condition, some people are argophobic. They're afraid of leaving their house. They have it worse than we do. In fact, I go to the gym because I feel like I'm the nurse. I have to go and help these healthy people with broken brains. And I don't have a broken brain, and most of you don't there. And those of you who don't have that inner peace, it's only because you don't have the tools. And I will give you the tools in this book that I believe it or not, I've written, and I'm going to give you the tools so that you can practice this and learn how to live in peace. And I'll give you it for free there, because I know, getting money off of anybody with MS is just cruel. It just, if anybody wants to donate, I'll let you guys donate. But if you happen to have extra money, but most of us don't, I know I live in a very small house. It's 1,100 square feet, old brick rancher, and so and I mean, we all, if we live in a budget, we can do that. But I'm not going to break anybody's budget who can't afford it. You want a book, and you want to know how to live in inner peace and not be afraid of COVID or not be afraid of MS. You're afraid, you have MS, and you're afraid of COVID. You have dealt with bigger things. You have dealt, oh my gosh, I think I read your names, and I pray, and I know where you live, and I read that, I've got 70 people on the list there. I read that there, and I read what you say there, and I know some of you in person, and I know some of you from the beginning when I started the YouTube page, which came before the Facebook support pages. Uh, and I'm in awe at God working through each of us there. And I've learned so much from you that any authority I have on dealing with MS is because you have taught me. You have 34 years. Early on, I sat in a library. This is in the 1994, 95. I sat there because I had trigeminal neuralgia. What those people who don't have MS, what that means is I have a video of it's like a stabbing pain. It happens to people without MS, but it happens to be one of the worst symptoms. It's like a cluster headache. It's like an axe going in your head. It is so painful, but it only lasts a certain, it's just a couple seconds, but it happens often there. And back then, they didn't know it was MS was associated with it. So I went down to the local library, a Medford library in New Jersey, and I went and I got every periodical I could about headaches. The only word I can come up with is I was having a headache. And every time I had that headache, I'd go to the emergency room. And in Burlington County Memorial, I knew people there, and they'd give me the Demerol, and they labeled me as a drug addict. And Demerol, amazing painkiller when you have this trigeminal neuralgia, it doesn't do anything. It all it does is it numbs the pain, so it's not mind, but breaking pain. But it's like Vikings. It creates a shield, and you can feel the Vikings pounding on the shield, trying to break through. You don't. So what works on it? There are things again above my pay grade. I'm not a doctor, and none of this book will tell anybody how to deal with their symptoms. Call your neurologist. There are people who have been paid who have the letters behind their name to give you medical advice. I don't. I can tell you how to adapt to. I can teach you resilience, how to be resilient to get over issues there. So this trigeminal, I sat there, looked up headaches, found a headache, and it affected the seventh cranial nerve, which is a nerve that went into your jaw there. There was only one treatment known to work, and it was Tegretol. And the description of that headache fit my description. So I Xerox that page in that medical journal, and I brought it to my doctor. And he wrote me, instead of writing me a prescription for Demerol, which I had at home, he wrote me a prescription for Tegretol, which was a seizure medication. And within 24 hours, I can't remember that, so don't hold me truth, but it went away. It went away, and I stayed on that till I didn't, and I can't remember, but that's how it was like to have MS a long time ago. There, you had to, and emotionally, I wanted people to comfort me and offer me the support I needed there. Now I don't require that. Now I realize that I'd much rather be a gym rat, a fellow swimmer. I hear advice. There's people who think I should be using a certain device when I swim there, and I find it fascinating how the body naturally adapts when certain systems or certain weaknesses happen. There, Josiana says, "Oh, Josiana, you are so sweet." Josiana said that I'm the most real and caring person she's ever known. But I will tell you, Josiana, you know what you love that you see in me, and other people are agreeing with her, is that you see, like that woman, you have joy. It's the joy of Christ, and you can relate. We're programmed to want that joy, right? We're programmed to want that joy, and we're programmed to be elated when we can share it, right? So it's Josiane, if you are grateful for what you see me and you love me, it's the lovable quality you have in you. It's a thing. That's why early on, when I started MS Frontiers on Facebook, anybody who was willing to head a group. We have primary progressive, we have secondary progressive, we have personal share, we have exercise and nutrition. There's so many different MS Frontier Facebook groups that uh, is a wonderful opportunity for anybody to jump in, join, and lead. I mean, you can be part of live in fear, or you can be a disciple of Christ. And anybody who participates in this chat, which you see over, see here in Facebook, there, and you see over here, every time you type uh, uh, a response to another person, you're caring there, and you're a disciple. And I look at Chris, and please forgive me. Gabapentin, Tim talks about that he uses for trigeminal neuralgia. And so please forgive me if I haven't. Cynthia, you're talking. uh, uh, you guys are all talking. Please forgive me if I haven't said hi to you, Perry. Hi. There's just people, and please forgive me if I haven't read something that you have to say. I post. I go to a. I won't talk about so much where I get fed my gospel, and I like to read the Bible, because it's critical. That if you don't believe in anything, if you are Jewish, my best friend's a 70-year-old Jewish guy. If you don't believe in Christ, there, if you are a Muslim, if you're Jehovah Witness, and all, and you have MS, it's more important that you feel that warm blanket of love and comfort, uh, and know you're prayed for. You're prayed to. I pray to my God for you, but I've discovered that if converting people, for me, creates atheists, and that is not. God says, just step out of the way, love on people, smile on people, pray for people, do that stuff there, and don't. I got other disciples that will say the right thing. I'm a train wreck. Yeah, you guys know me enough that I say things I probably shouldn't. There, and I'm a bad girl without Christ. There, Cynthia. I don't. Where, thank you for saying that. Shaq is here from Trinidad. Shaq, you guys remember Shaquille? Shaquille is from Trinidad. He doesn't often join us there, but he has been on Facebook the last couple of times. But he's here now, and it's wonderful to have you here, Shaquille. Uh, All right, Sharia talks about, now remember, Sharia, if you go to Dulci Hill and you subscribe to this YouTube channel, there you'll get an email of the YouTube thing, and then you can participate in the chat, because everybody over here with MS there, I'll let you know I'm talking on to Facebook there, and Sharia is quoting on Facebook there. You know what? And that is I love that reference. That is what movie is that? Where Megan, Sharia just said that she wants what I'm having. You know, remember that is with Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan, and I think it was Rob Reiner's mother. No, Rob Reiner's mother said that because Meg Ryan ate something, and she faked an orgasm there while she was eating, and when the waitress came over to Rob Reiner's mother, she says, "What? Yes, Meg Ryan there. What would you like to eat?" So, "I'll have what she's having," because she's obviously eating something that's so good. She had an orgasm. I want that, you know. But Gina, I'm so grateful you're here. There, but why were you sleeping, Gina? Gina's in the house. Oh, you know what? You were, but you were sleeping. Uh, yeah. You're in Canada. Gina's in Canada. There. Oh, Gina was having, I hope it checked out there. Well, she was having a mammogram. So, oh, good. That is good. And I'm glad you're here with us today. May the Lord bless your mammogram, and have it not have anything in that, because you have enough there. You have enough on your plate there, and yeah, fun, Gina. Yeah, that's funny. Gina had a mammogram, and Cynthia is, that's another thing that I gotta let you guys know. The most critical thing that we have to avoid fear and stay in the moment and do what's next is the ability to laugh at ourselves, to laugh at each other, to not, MS isn't your fault. The affliction you're going through is not your fault. But so don't own it. When other people, in fact, I have a brother-in-law who got drunk one time years ago at Christmas, and he started staggering down the hall to go to the bathroom, and and I'm sitting there, and he says, "Oh, I'm walking like Dulci." I mean, how cool is that? I was honored. He thought of me in that moment. It's like, "Hey, you are walking like me." But it just, every opportunity is an opportunity to laugh. And the more you can laugh, the more you can find something to laugh in the moment. It's critical. And it starts with doing gratitude lists. And I live in chronic pain from, do you remember how it was when some of you have taken beta seron or any of the interferons? The side effect is a flu-like symptom there. And I used to get the flu-like symptoms, the aches and pains and the fever and stuff. I used to have. Richard, thank you for joining us today. You're a blessing. I pray that God goes with you today and keeps you on your feet. Don't stop it with the falls, Richard. Stop it. Just stay on your feet. Stay on your feet, everybody. And what do we do when we can't stay on our feet? We're supposed to use our mobility equipment to get there. Thank you. All right, it's 11:55. I've got 5 minutes. So if you can laugh, then you can stay in the moment. You can be grateful for what is, not worry about tomorrow. Uh, uh, just go on there. So just go on. Don't live in fear. I mean, um, my husband. This is my second husband. He married me. He knew I had multiple sclerosis. He married me anyway. Oh my gosh. I remember apologizing to his mom, saying, "I'm so sorry. Your son fell in love with me." Oh my God. He's better than me, because I wouldn't have married somebody with MS. There, and I laugh at that. I laugh. I said, "Oh my God." But you know what he said to me? He said, "You're easy to marry because you don't." As much as I talk about this disease to you guys, and I talk about this disease to other people who don't have it, so they recognize that it's not an issue. It is a catalyst to overcome that. He married me, and he told me he just a physical specimen. He's still. I call him cat-like. Uh, uh, cat-like reflexes. He can creep anywhere, but he said that there's no way of knowing that the roof isn't, or lightning's gonna strike him that next day. How do you know that you're gonna be worse than me? And how awesome is that? If anything, that teaches us that this is a healthy person who lives in the moment. Why can't we live in the moment? Well, we can if we program ourselves to be grateful for the beautiful things. When you fall and you're laying on the floor, there, look around at your decor, and be grateful. Uh, be grateful for what you have and your floor, and uh, Oh, and Chris talks about her husband. Did your husband know you have MS? He got on his knees and he said, "I want to marry you, Chris, because of you, not because of your disease." And it's true. The minute I've discovered, the minute if you're single, the minute you're good with being single, you're good with where you're at, and you're not looking, the people start like a moth to a light. You become an attraction there. People want to be with you. That is, yeah. That is, that's wonderful. Phone always rings when you don't want it to. Tim's talking about his phone ringing when you don't want it to. There, that's why I don't bring any of the phones that I hit on both the phone and the laptop. Do not disturb. I hit that there, and just a second here. I hit that, and it doesn't ring. It doesn't, So I'm not disturbed by that. But anyway, well, all right, and we're talking about how long you've been diagnosed. How long you've been married? Chris has been married 17 years. I got married about the same time. It's been 20 years with my husband and myself. Not married, but together there. So it is now the top of the hour. It's 5 o'clock in London, and it's 12 o'clock on the East Coast there. 9 o'clock in California and Coeur d'Alene. So I'm going to finish with the words of, let's see, it's in Numbers there. May God bless you and keep you. And what is meant by keep you in His graces, right? Shine His grace upon you, and let's see, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and shine his face upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his presence, his countenance upon you and give you his peace. If we're obedient in the Lord and know that none of this really matters, our disease, none of this, we can laugh at Meg Ryan, and I love that there, because you're an inspiration, Sharia. You just said that there. Please go to msfrontiers.org. Jane, finally, 9 o'clock. Anyway, I talked about you. I've been waiting for you, and now we're ending there. I love you all. Please subscribe, and keep coming back there. If you are not on the YouTube channel, if you Google Dulci Hill and subscribe there, you'll get an email when we go live on next Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Also, if you have anything you need me to talk about, or any problems or anything like that, you can, through that website, you can get a hold of me. I'll give you my phone number. I'm here for you. I love you all. And I'll, again, enough. Love you. See you on Tuesday. God bless you. Bye. All right. I am ending the stream. All right. All right. So